Good morning, children. We are starting the next chapter, that is chapter 3, and this chapter 3 is metals and non-metals. As you could see, the name of the chapter is metals and non-metals. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about some of the important properties of metals and non-metals. So as you could just see, the chapter starts with what are metals. Okay, so metals are those elements. See, the chapter starts with metals. Now the question is, what are metals? So metals are those elements that conduct heat and electricity and are malleable and ductile. So we can say among the elements which we know in our periodic table that there are 118 elements. Among these 118 elements, some elements are called as metals. Now the question is, what are metals? Metals are the elements that conduct heat and electricity and are malleable and ductile. What is the meaning of malleable and ductile? That means they can be changed into fine sheets or they can be changed into fine wax. So these are the properties of metals. So if I have to discuss the definition of a metal, I should say metals are those elements in the periodic table which are mostly electropositive in nature. They are excellent conductor of heat and electricity. They are malleable and ductile, and most of them has a metallic luster, as well as most of them are actually sonorous in nature, right? But that might not be the property of all metal. Some exceptions are always there. See, first of all, we have iron. Iron is example of a metal which you have seen at home. Then we have aluminium. Aluminium is another example of metal. Aluminium is another example of a metal. Then another important metal which we see is silver. You might have seen silver ornament, silver article, silver spoon, silver bowl. So all of them are made up of this metal, silver. You might have seen copper utensils at home. You might have seen gold ornaments, right? So all these are actually made up of metals, and these are the metals which we encounter very common. After that, we have certain metals like platinum, lead, potassium, sodium, calcium, and magnesium. These are also examples of metals. Maybe these metals we encounter in our day-to-day life less. We might be encountering the compounds of these metals in the form of different types of salts. Another important characteristic features of metals are that metals are the elements which are electropositive in nature and they produce positive ions. Okay, positive ions means they have the tendency of losing their electrons. Thus we can tell that metals are known as electropositive elements. So one important definition of a metal is that they are electropositive elements, or I can say they actually form electropositive nature, or they have the capacity to donate electrons. After that, we would be going to discuss the physical properties of metals. But before that, the common metals we encounter at our home is iron. We have encountered that is metals like aluminium. We have seen metals like silver, copper, gold. These are the common metals we see at home. Now, the next part of the chapter we are going to discuss is the physical properties of the metals. Now, what are the physical properties of metals? The first property of a metal is its hardness. What is the meaning of hardness? Most of the metals are hard except alkali metals such as sodium, potassium, lithium. So first important property of a metal is that metals are generally hard in nature, and that is called the hardness property of a metal. Apart from it, it is not necessary that all metals should be hard. There are some metals which are pretty soft. For example, sodium and potassium that can be cut with a knife, and they are so sensitive that they cannot be kept exposed to the environment. They are generally kept in kerosene, and they can be easily cut with a knife. After that, we'll discuss the next one is the strength. Most of the metals are strong and have high tensile strength. Now, what is the meaning of tensile strength? The meaning of tensile strength means these metals they can resist the wear and tear, and these metals will just not change in their shape when some type of deforming force is applied to these metals. Because of these, big structures are made using metals. Think of big bridges, big buildings, multi-stories buildings. These buildings are made up of which type of element? They are made up of iron. And when they are made up of iron, what we know that these metals, they actually need iron for their construction. If iron is not present, then what will happen? These metals will not function at all. Okay, exceptions are there, that is except the sodium, potassium, which are actually comparatively soft metals. Sodium and potassium are actually soft metals. Okay, after that, next property we have is the state. Metals are solid at room temperature except for mercury. Metals are generally solid at room temperature except for mercury. Except mercury, most of the metals are soft at room temperature. Okay, these are some of the important characteristics of metals. These are some of the important characteristics of metals. That is, just remember that metals are soft, metals are rather very hard solids. Generally at room temperature, exceptions are always there. After that, the next property is sonority or the sound. Metals produce a special ringing sound or called the gonging sound. So metals are generally sonorous, and this property is called sonority. If you want to write down the definition of sonority, you can write, it is the property by virtue of which, just write down the definition of sonority or sound. It is the property by which metals actually produce a gonging sound. What is the meaning of gonging sound? It produces a type of ringing sound. When it produces a ringing sound, that is, when a metal is hit by a hard object, what happens? When a metal is hit by a hard object, the metal actually produces a type of gonging sound. This gonging sound is called the sonorous nature of the metal. This gonging sound is called the sonorous nature of the metal. Or in a way, we can say that metals are generally sonorous in nature. That is, when they are beaten hard, they actually produce sound. Now, sound of the metal is also a metallic sound. If I give you a metal spoon and a plastic spoon, by the sound of the spoon you can easily understand which one is a metallic spoon and which one is a plastic spoon, because a metallic spoon will produce a gonging sound. What is the gonging sound? It has a type of specially called a metallic sound, a type of ringing sound. This is the characteristic feature of metal, which is called as sonority in metals. After that, see, metal has another important property, and that important property of the metal is that these metals, you might have seen bells, you might have seen the stringed instruments, they are all made up of metals. Bells which we have seen in our place of worship, they are made up of metals. Why are they made up of metals? Because they can produce this type of gonging sound. Another thing is that the metal wads are used in string instruments. See, these musical instruments, suppose I have sitar, I have guitar, I have ektara, I have tanpura. All these stringed instruments, they have metallic string, because when metallic string is hit, it produces a ringing sound or a gonging sound. So this ringing sound or gonging sound is actually a characteristic of that of a metal. Now we are moving to the next property of the metal, and the next property of the metal is actually metals. Next property of the metals which we are going to discuss is the property of metals by which we can say that metals are very good conductors of heat and electricity, and this property is called as conduction. So you can see this specific property of metal is called as conduction. So what is conduction? Conduction is the property by virtue of which what we can say that the metal is able to conduct heat as well as electric current. You might have noticed that all the cooking utensils, they are generally made up of metals. Why cooking utensils are made up of metals? Because metals are excellent conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, that is, we can say that the electric wires are made up of metals. At home you might have seen that the electric wires at your home is actually made up of what? It is actually made up of copper wire. Why copper? Because copper is an excellent conductor of electric current. Copper is excellent conductor of electric current, and your cooking utensils are made up of metal, right? Why? Because metal is a very good conductor of heat. So have you understood? That is the cooking utensils, electrical wires. So you might have seen very thick electrical cable. When you cut open the plastic or the fiber covering, inside it we have copper or aluminium. And you should know that copper is a very good conductor of electricity and the best conductor is silver. So that is called the conduction property of a metal. After that we are going to discuss the next property, and that is called as malleability. Now what is the definition of malleability? Malleability means the property by which we can say that metals are able to conduct electric current. Malleability means the property by virtue of which a metal can be changed into very thin sheets. So malleability is the property by virtue of which a metal can be beaten into very fine sheets. Because of this property, iron is used in making big shapes. You might have seen iron is heavy. If you have an iron ball, the iron ball easily sinks in water because of its high density. But if the same iron is beaten into fine sheets, we can get the lower surface of the sheet, and the lower surface of the sheet is able to float on water because these metals can be changed into fine sheets. See, metals like aluminium can be changed into fine aluminium foils. You might have seen medicines and cigarettes, they are packed in aluminium foils. Why? Because aluminium has the property to be changed into fine wax. So aluminium has the property to be changed into fine, sheets. That property of a metal to be changed into fine sheet is called as malleability. After that we have the next property, and next property is called the ductility. See, this is the property of a metal, ductility. What is the meaning of ductility? Ductility means the property by virtue of which a metal can be changed into very fine wire. So the property by virtue of which a metal can be changed into very fine wire is called as ductility. So ductility property is also an important property of that of a metal. That is, the metal can be changed into very fine, wire. You have seen copper wires, right? How are those copper wires? They are actually as thin as, these copper wires are actually as thin as air, right? After that we have the melting point and boiling point. Metals have generally high melting and boiling point. What is the meaning of melting point? Melting point means the fixed temperature at which a solid changes into the liquid state, and boiling point means the fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into the gaseous state. So these are some of the important characteristics. Of metals. So I can say that metals generally have a high melting point and boiling point, or they generally have a high tensile strength. But you should know that these metals have certain exception. Some metals like sodium and potassium, they have comparatively lower boiling point and melting point. Some metals like sodium and potassium, they have comparatively lower melting point and boiling point. Okay. Now the next property we have is density. Most of the metals have a high density. Now what is the meaning of density? Density means mass per unit volume. See, these metals, they generally have a high density. Why high density? Because their comparative mass is much higher and their volume is less. So if I have two important balls, one is a plastic ball, other is a metallic ball, what I would see that the plastic ball will float in water, but the metal ball will sink in water. Why? Because these metals generally have a high density. That is the characteristic feature of a metal. So here important thing comes in your mind, that when I have an iron ball, it sinks in water, but when I'm having an iron sheet, it is actually floating in water. Why is it so? It is so because So have you understood this important point? That is the density. Now the next point that we are going to discuss is the color of the metal. So each metal has a characteristic color. Each metal has a characteristic color, and this characteristic color is actually a unique property of the metal. This characteristic color is a unique property of the metal. That is, this characteristic color is a unique property of the metal. That is, whenever we see metals, they have this type of characteristic property. That is, gold has a special type of color. You might have seen the identifying color of gold. You might have seen the identifying color of silver. You might have seen the identifying color of copper. So all these colors, what do they indicate? They actually indicate a specific type of a metal. Okay, these are the characteristic features of a metal. Have you understood it now? So these are the characteristic features of a metal. Now see, we are going to discuss the general properties of metal as a whole. In this case, we have studied actually what are the important properties. We have studied the definition of a metal. After that, we have studied the names of various types of metals. We have seen there are some metals which we actually encounter in our everyday life. There are some metals which we have seen. That these metals have to be that we use. There are also certain metals which might not be we are using it directly, but we are using the salts of these metals. Okay. After that, children, we have discussed the different properties of metals. Under that, we had discussed the physical properties of metals. And what are the physical properties of metals? They were hardness, strength, state, sound, conduction of heat and electricity, malleability, ductility, melting point, density, and color. So these are some of the unique general properties of metals that we have discussed in our class today. Okay, children, that was all for the day. Thank you.